Restrictions are ramping up these days. As the world heads into another lockdown and it feels like all hope is lost, we can't help but seek answers. What will the solar eclipse of December bring to the table? Hello everyone, welcome to Astro Reader PH and thanks for dropping by for some astrology. In this video, we'll go deep into the solar eclipse in Sagittarius on December 4th, 2021 and how it will likely affect each individual sign. You can skip ahead to those readings if you want, using the timestamps in the description box. But it would be really great if you could also stay put. First, I'll explain how the eclipses of Sagittarius and Gemini played out in our lives over the past 2 years. Then we'll go over how this 2-year story will likely come to an end. We'll go deeper into the final chapter of the next 5 months brought by this eclipse, then individually discuss its effects on the 12 signs. The solar eclipse in Sagittarius is going to be a final chapter of sorts. One major thing is that this eclipse is the last in a set of eclipses on the Sagittarius-Gemini axis. It is effective over the period of December 2021 to April 2022. Therefore, we can say that this is a 5-month chapter. And it is a final chapter of sorts, ending the Gemini-Sagittarius story. The Gemini-Sagittarius set of eclipses began a story. The simplest way to map this story is through the solar eclipses, because they're powerful game changers. And now, on December 2021, we have the Sagittarius solar eclipse again, the final one in this axis. The transiting nodes will shift signs on January 2022, so it's safe to say the solar eclipse will mark a conclusion of sorts to the story. You may be asking, what kind of story are we having here? Sagittarius is related to our worldview, our beliefs, our programming, some would say, the amalgamation of our knowledge and experiences in life, and the resulting ideology we get from it, like our castle or fortress of knowledge. When the South Node transits a sign, there's a draining or toxic effect, so we could have been pulled down by our worldviews in the past 2 years. As you can see now, it almost seems like the world is split into 2 halves, both sides believing a totally different set of facts. It feels irreconcilable. Sagittarius is also related to travel and freedom, and for sure, everyone is feeling the restrictions on those things right now. So here's a really brief overview of how the story could have played out in your life. From June to December 2020, the stage is set, differing set of facts are spread out. December 2020, a divergence of worldviews is formed. Ideologies clash, and there's debate. From June 2021, people act on what they believe in. Day-to-day matters become the focus. Life becomes busy. People seem set on their beliefs. This is because Mercury rules the execution of plans in the here and now. The media is extremely empowered, also ruled by Mercury. December 2021, the present. We can no longer avoid the argument once again. The worldviews will have to clash once more, and this will reach a climax that will disillusion many. So this is how it's played out in general. Stay tuned and I will get to the individual effects to the signs in a while. So this solar eclipse will be wrapping up the story. If you're not aware of the philosophy of the Hegelian dialectic, it essentially teaches us that the contradiction between a proposition or thesis and its antithesis is resolved at a higher level of truth, or synthesis. A thesis is basically a worldview to which the antithesis is the contradiction, and their clash and debate leads to a synthesis. Essentially, what the solar eclipse will do is try to harmonize the thesis with the antithesis and form a new synthesis, a higher level of truth. We know how people can act when their worldviews are challenged, so this is unlikely to go smoothly. So we may have to prepare to have our minds blown over the next couple of months as we try to get to the truth of certain matters. Since this is a solar eclipse conjunct the South Node, and the South Node signifies the beginning state, or where we're coming from, then there could be an energy of restoration or return to some original state. Like a default mode, there could be a feeling of coming back home from a journey with a new understanding of the world. But even then, those who traveled away from their worldview may reach a new place of understanding. As Tolkien said, not all who wander are lost. With the North Node in Gemini, we could have faced the reality of many of our long-held beliefs, especially in the last 5 months. We could have felt humbled after realizing we don't really know what we thought we knew. Sagittarius is related to morals, ethics, law, what is right and just, what is ideal. So we may be seeing now how far we've departed from those things. In our individual lives, we may see how far we've gone from our ideals and long-term visions. Perhaps there's a big picture plan you had envisioned for your life, and right now, you're not necessarily living in accordance with that. So the solar eclipse will try to correct your path again, to return to that original state, in alignment with your long-term plans and principles, your creed. In the world, we can see it as well. As a species, we may start questioning ourselves if this is the way we want to live for the long term, if this is how we are meant to live. We'll be looking at the big picture, at the future, and consider the long-term effects of things. There could be an urge to return to reason, figure out what's reasonable and sustainable in the long run. There's a minor hurdle, though, in the form of some Grinch energy. So as I've said in past videos, there's this restrictive energy going on this December, as Saturn squares Uranus. The final hit will be occurring around Christmas time. Now, I highly suspect this Saturn square Uranus to be one of the main culprits for the increased restrictions of the past year, so I look forward to this final pass. I believe there will be a huge finale of control measures around the holidays, and that it will be so intense that so many will be disillusioned, and many more will demand the return of their freedoms. And I think this will pave the way to people wanting to set things right and return to the former state of things, when things were in their proper place. I expect many difficult truths to be revealed during this process, so we're in for a jittery ride. Just try not to hold on too tightly to what you think you know, and you'll do fine. The solar eclipse in Sagittarius will also inspire us to seek meaning and purpose in our lives again. It's possible that due to the busyness caused by Gemini solar eclipse, we've neglected the things that feed our soul. We probably got too caught up in the mundane things in life, in the day-to-day. We could have focused too much in the details and forgot about the big picture. So this solar eclipse is also about restoring the things that nourish our soul and grow our minds. We'll likely be indulging in more art, philosophy, spirituality, reflection, knowledge, and travel. Or we would thirst more for such things. We're going to ask ourselves, this is fine for now, but what about the long run? As I said, the restrictions would still have to ramp up around Christmas, before we could really devote ourselves to such things, probably after December. As early as now, though, we would be feeling this thirst for correction of our lives to go back to our long-term plans and our ideals for ourselves. Before we get into the individual readings, I just want to invite you to please like and subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm doing. Thanks! Aries, yours is in the 9th house. You feel most things strongly, Aries, and for you, the effects are often doubly intense. The solar eclipse is in your 9th house of worldview. You may have faced humbling truths in the past year and departed from your long-term goals. These goals may have been derailed. In the past 5 months, you probably had to engage in a business or study that felt like you weren't using your intelligence to its full potential, or it was just something convenient that you came by, but isn't exactly what you've been working on for the long term. In the next 5 months, you'll be working on restoring your path back to where you are meant to be. This time, you'll probably be working on that long-term goal that makes use of your intelligence or gifts more. You could also start learning something new that will help you achieve your visions. Taurus, yours is in the 8th house. There could be a restoration of dependence and connection. With you, Taurus, you probably experimented with self-sufficiency in the past 5 months, probably having to do with a business, skill, study, or mental tasks. Simple day-to-day stuff. This was to add some value to yourself, or some security or confidence. It's likely you felt a loss of power and confidence in the past year or so you wanted to regain some of that. And you did get some of your personal power back, Taurus. In the next 5 months, you'll be able to face the uncertainties with more courage after regaining some stability and establishing your boundaries. You'll also seek deeper connection with others so you can share some of what you've gained. While you may still fear the future and the unknown, you'll have more courage now, more trust in the universe. The philosophy of Stoicism may help. Gemini, restoration of the partner. Hello, Gemini. You probably enjoyed some me time in the past 5 months, Gemini. You probably worked on your personal goals and fulfillment. You may have found some success there too. But for now, it may be time to let others take the lead in your life again. Perhaps you were supposed to be working on your partner's or other people's goals in the past, and temporarily you had to set that aside for your own goals. But now it's time to focus on your partner or relationships again. Perhaps they need your help more now, so you have to set aside your personal concerns for the meantime. Either way, you'll have the chance to work on your relationships now, and you'll probably feel a little less lonely since you'll have more personal interactions. Cancer, 6th house, restoration of work and health. Cancer, you may have gotten some time off in the past 5 months. Maybe you took a step back from your work and health concerns. Maybe there was a temporary setback in your long-term projects in the work and health sectors, so you took a bit of a break. You could have isolated yourself a bit and focused on your spiritual or soul growth. Now, it's time to find your use in society again and be of service. It's time to be productive again, to be healthy after that long bout of rest and isolation and spiritual baggage. If you've felt boxed down and isolated before, it's time to release the spiritual baggage and focus on the things that you could work on and fix. Leo, 5th house, restoration of pride and creativity. The past 5 months have probably worn down your pride, Leo. You may have tried to reach out to a wider network and tried to belong somewhere. So you could have had to set aside your natural shine for the meantime. You could have dealt with some negativity from your friends or organizations too, or you may have felt unappreciated. Also, you could have struggled with boredom and dreariness of life, but you probably had the opportunity to make some friends too, and you could have also found a couple of places that accepted you for the meantime. But either way, things are about to change. In the next 5 months, you'll be restoring your special and fun self. You'll express yourself more authentically and stop making excuses for yourself. You'll be working on bringing back that natural optimism and confidence again. You'll seek more joy and engage in activities that are fun for you. This time, however, your friends or networks could be more supportive of you. Virgo, 4th house, restoration of personal life, family, or home. You've been in the limelight recently, Virgo, and you've been recognized for your achievements. Personal matters probably went to a standstill in the recent 5 months or so you had to leave them be for a while. Maybe you had to fulfill some duty, take in a leadership or celebrity role somehow. Focusing on career success and your image was probably your distraction from personal concerns for the meantime. While these personal concerns paused for a while, you had the space or chance to work on and experiment on your life goals too. But this time, you'll be called to work on your personal life, family, home, and emotional security again. Maybe these matters will conclude over the next 5 months, so you can finally leave it all behind. In the next 5 months, you'll also focus more on your own well-being, on what you really want to do. Libra, 3rd house, restoration of the here and now. Hello, Libra. In the recent past, you probably had to step up and take the moral high ground on certain matters in your life, even when you just wanted to focus on your day-to-day tasks. Maybe some delays or pauses in your activities relating to business, study, and other mental tasks gave you some space to grow your mind and craft your worldview. In the coming months, you'll probably be able to focus on these things you should be doing again. As I said, likely related to work, study, skills, or simple mental tasks. You'll also have more chances to talk and express yourself when before you had difficulty doing so. You could have also focused on your beliefs or ideology too much, and now you just want to go back and focus on the present. Scorpio, 2nd house, restoration of security and confidence. Hey Scorpio, in the recent past, some events in your life probably made you feel a little more unsafe than you wanted. Maybe you just wanted to focus on your own life and be left alone, but certain circumstances could be testing your boundaries and security. Don't worry, because over the next couple of months, you'll be focused on restoring your personal power and boundaries, as you feel you should be doing. You'll work on your security as well, financial or otherwise. Maybe you'll also start feeling less connected to others, but you'll have more confidence in yourself, in your own worth and value. If you've been spending a lot recently, you'll probably start to rein in the expensive luxury purchases and seek more long-term and valuable investments. You'll feel more contentment and stability again. Sagittarius, first house, restoration of self. In the past 5 months or so, you had probably let others take the lead, Sagittarius. Maybe others around you needed your help, or maybe you wanted to take a break from focusing on your personal goals so you could work on your relationships. Maybe your personal goals had to slow down a little too. You also could have suffered a blow in your pride somehow, as you realized some limitations of yourself, and other people exerted their power in your life. This time, you'll be working on restoring some of that lost personal power, Sagittarius. The next 5 months will direct your focus to personal affairs, your personal growth or goals. You may feel less inclined to seek partnerships now, as you seek growth. This solar eclipse can be quite empowering for you, Sagittarius. Perhaps you have gained valuable knowledge from other people, or lessons from your personal relationships that will allow you to better work on yourself now. Capricorn, 12th house, restoration of rest or spirituality, creativity. Work matters may have taken their toll on you, Capricorn. Just when you thought you had got into a more isolated position of having more free time, leisure, or rest, the past 5 months really needed your service. If you had to take some time off from your pursuits or activities relating to art, movies, fiction, music, spiritual growth, rest, and leisure, you'll be able to return soon. Take care of your health, though, as it's probably going to be easier for you to get ill over the next couple of months. Even if you do get down with the weather, though, you'll likely have the chance to take some time off. Some of you may consider or experience resignation, retrenchment, retirement, or extended leaves. All the same, this will be a great time to get away from things and try to heal your weary soul. Aquarius, 11th house, restoration of networks and friendships. Hello, Aquarius. In the recent past, you probably had more attention and exposure than you're used to. Maybe you stepped up into a more public position, or had more leadership and celebrity of sorts. Or perhaps a romantic relationship didn't go well. You could have been thrust more into the spotlight, or took the heat for something. There could have been some troubles with connections or groups of people that didn't appreciate you or cooperate with you as well as you hoped. This time, you'll be able to deflect some attention off of you and go back to your goals or activities concerning groups of people, networks, organizations, and friends. While you may have a little less public attention or heat now, you'll also feel a greater sense of belonging and acceptance from groups or communities, and more able to work on collective goals. Pisces, 10th house, restoration of duties, image, recognition, power, and success. Last but certainly not least, Pisces, you're wrapping up some personal issues now. Maybe you went lower profile in the last 5 months or so you could deal with some affairs relating to your private life, physical and mental health, family, home, and close relationships. Personal matters could have gotten in the way of a professional goal of yours. Good news is, those temporary roadblocks are almost out of the way now, and you are set to work on your life goals again. Over the next 5 months, you'll be working on professional matters, career, reputation, duties, responsibilities, publicity, and the like. Maybe your recent downtime was exactly what you needed to perform better in the career sector now. The important thing is that those personal concerns are mostly concluded now, leaving you more space to pursue success. And that's it. Thanks for watching the solar eclipse in Sagittarius for the 12 signs. Please like and subscribe. Thanks. Goodbye.